Thank you for joining us. My name is Erica Thomas, the Public Information Office Manager for the Lincoln Police Department. Today we are going to share an update regarding the rescue of Jesserae Beck and the arrest of Christopher Collins that unfolded late last night. You will hear from Police Chief Michonne Morrow, Assistant Chief Jason Stilley, and Special Victims Unit Lieutenant Michelle Yoakum. And please hold your questions until the end of their prepared statements. Chief.
Good morning. First, I want to express my gratitude to all of you for walking through this with us from yesterday morning to last night and again this morning. There were so many people involved, dozens of people, that we need to make sure that we recognize and express our gratitude for the tireless work that they did that ultimately led to the rescuing of Jesserae and making sure that she can be reunited with her family. I want to specifically acknowledge her children. They were extremely concerned about their mother, and we are so thankful that they trusted us, that they called us and gave us an opportunity to respond and investigate, and ultimately time was of the essence, and we were able to reach her successfully. And again, we maintain gratitude for that. This was a team effort that involved several units within our department and multiple partner agencies and our community. And again, the reach from the media and social media is a partnership that we rely on daily. And again, thankful for the interactions that we had. For us, our officers, the SWAT team, Special Victims Unit, Criminal Investigations, Crime Analysis, along with our partners at the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office, Nebraska State Patrol, and Lincoln Fire and Rescue, it really only scratches the surface of all of those who were involved and contributed to the successful outcome that we had last night. I want to invite Assistant Chief Jason Stilley up to the podium, and he's going to talk through the details of the rescue and the arrest from last night.
Thank you, Chief. Before I get started, I just want to lift up another person. While I'm very proud of the team effort here, I want to lift up Jesserae Beck. This is why we do this job, is for the Jesseraes in our community, and she was a warrior. And she turned seconds into minutes and stretched minutes into hours to allow us to find her. From the moment that we learned Jesserae had not returned home on Thursday, street officers in coordination with my Special Victims Unit investigators began working to develop information to determine where she may be. That investigative process initially led us to the first search warrant at the Eagleton home. As indicated yesterday, at yesterday's press conference, no one was located inside that home. However, there were significant signs of struggle inside. Investigators from several investigative units continued to pour through details of the case and follow up on every lead. And it's one of those details that led investigators to one of Collins' rental homes on Santa Fe Trail late yesterday evening. Just after 10:30 p.m. yesterday, our SWAT team executed a warrant in partnership with LSO and NSP at that home. While approaching the home, SWAT officers smelled the strong odor of natural gas. Upon entry, they located Miss Beck and Christopher Collins in a back bedroom. Jesserae was promptly evacuated to safety while a brief struggle ensued to place Collins into custody. Once he was secured, he too was evacuated from the home. Collins is currently at the Lancaster County Jail for domestic assault, kidnapping, false imprisonment, terroristic threats, and use of a deadly weapon to commit a felony, as well as a protection order violation. Now I'd like to invite Lieutenant Michelle Yoakum, who is in charge of our Special Victims Unit, up to discuss her involvement and her investigators' involvement in this case.
Good morning, and thank you. I just wanted to share with everybody how relieved I am by the positive outcome in this case and that Jesserae is now safe. The situation and incidents leading up to this highlighted the unpredictable and dangerous nature of domestic violence situations. We want to be clear that victims are never to blame for the actions of their abusers. Domestic violence is a very complex situation, and decisions that are often made by survivors that are shaped by fear, hope, difficult circumstances. Our focus remains on holding offenders accountable and connecting survivors with resources and the support that they need to stay safe. We always encourage anyone who is in an abusive situation to report that behavior to the Lincoln Police Department, so we can investigate and reach out to units like our victim assistance units along with other community partners that we have. Thank you, and I'll open it up for Erica.
Those are our prepared statements. Does anyone have any questions?
Can you two talk about the source of the gas, where it was coming from?
Based on a report that I read this morning, it appears that maybe a line was severed. They're trying to determine how that was, so we collected a variety of evidence inside the home, and that's one of the pieces that we're going to have to follow up on.
Any idea if that was intentional?
Right now, until I have facts, I don't want to speculate, but it is a possibility. Yeah.
What were the nature of her injuries? I know they weren't life-threatening, but can you say what they were?
It's extensive. She has injuries all over her body, and not to mention the emotional trauma that she had to have gone through. So she's endured a lot, but like I said, she is a fighter, and I am very happy with the outcome. She does have a long road ahead of her.
Can you confirm, is she pregnant?
I can't confirm that.
Did he suffer any injuries during the struggle at all?
He did have an injury to the back of his head, and we did discharge a taser as well to take him into custody. So he was seen at the local hospital, had a few sutures, and then was taken to jail.
How long did it take you guys to figure out that he had a second home and get there to search it?
Yeah, as you can imagine in this, there's a variety of different streams of information that are coming in. And I also appreciate the public when we release that information for somebody that we absolutely need to find very, very quickly. They came through. So with all of that information that comes in, I only have so many people to go around, and it was all hands on deck. And we are following up on a variety of things, whether it was vehicles that may be associated, other homes that he may frequent, other locations that he may frequent. And so it was a lot of information, as well as trying to comb through digital evidence as well to try to put this together.
Was this the only rental home that he had, or were there other ones that you had to search as well?
There are other ones.
Oh, do you know how many?
I don't, off the top of my head.
Is there a detail that led to this rental home in particular?
There is. I will tell you, the only thing I'm going to describe is it was a singular breadcrumb that our investigators found amongst a mountain of evidence that they were trying, a bunch of details that they were trying to pour through. So I couldn't be more proud of Special Victims Unit and my criminal investigators. They have so much information that they have to try to decide whether it's credible, whether it's actionable, and lead to follow-on leads. And so they did a very commendable job, because time was not on our side.
Mr. Collins is booked on a use of a deadly weapon to commit a felony charge. Did he have a weapon on him when he was taken into custody, or what's that charge from?
Well, we gathered some information from the victim in this case as well, and it appears that he had a knife at some point.
Do you have any idea why she went over to the first house yesterday morning and why she had the protection order dismissed to go over there?
You know, we're looking into a variety of those things. We are aware that she was at the courthouse to try to get the protection order dismissed. We're also aware that she had communicated with her family that she was going over to the Eagleton address. There are a variety of factors at play, and we're certainly going to have to talk to her again. But right now, I'm looking out for her best interest of making sure that recovery is the most important thing right now, and we'll continue to gather evidence to try to answer all those questions.
So is the home in Northeast Lincoln his too, or is that hers?
That is his as well.
Okay.
Mm.
Both rentals?
No, it appears that he lived at the Eagleton address.
Can you speak to what that crime scene looked like? Why did you suspect that it was such a serious scene yesterday morning?
I don't want to get into too many graphic details, but it's very clear. We enter a lot of homes, and in this particular one, it was very obvious that there was a sign of a struggle, and a significant one. So I'll leave it at that.
Any indication that Collins was under the influence of alcohol or drugs
Not
yesterday?
not that I know of right now.
Was he armed with a knife at that point yesterday?
I will tell you that it was a very dynamic warrant. So we were only in the home a very short period of time, and then confronted with a gas leak that we suspected prior to going in, but then also were very acutely aware of when we were inside the home. So the search ended up taking place after, and I haven't conferred with those investigators to figure out what they found in there.
I was talking to a neighbor at the Eagleton residence yesterday who described, people in a Facebook chat talking about the SWAT team having to like blow up the door to get into the home. Is that what happened for, like, can you talk about the entry into the Eagleton home, and was it a similar situation with the second home where they eventually found both Collins and Beck?
Yeah. So, when we have a menu of things available to us to try to solve a problem, right? And explosive breaching is one of those things. I can confirm that we used it in one narrow case on one door at the Eagleton house. We did not use it on the Santa Fe Trail house, but it's a different environment, it's a different home. And so we, again, from the menu of things that we have at our disposal, we have to decide what is probably the most appropriate for this particular structure at this time, based on the facts that we have.
And then there was evacuation because of the gas leak yesterday in the neighborhood. Do you know, like, how many people that affected or how many homes in the area?
Right now, as I stand here today, I don't. It was several homes to the north and homes obviously to the east and west.
Okay. And I guess this might be a question for like a scientist, but like the gas leak, what are the consequences? Like, what is the risk there? Is it explosion? Is like a mask gonna help you with that? Is that a different type of gas that a mask help you with? Like, can you just talk about more about what that variable added to the situation?
I think the fire department would be the expert on that. Certainly those of you that have lived in Lincoln for a period of time are very aware of a significant house explosion due to a gas leak on purpose several years ago. So it is a dangerous environment. That's why we're fortunate to have our firefighter partners that they came out and did a great job of ventilating the house, turning off the gas, and making the scene safe for everybody in the neighborhood.
Do you know what part of the house the severed line was at?
Specifically, I don't know.
Was there ever like a thought of like, this might be too dangerous of an environment for us to go into because of the gas leak or other factors, involved?
Yeah, we have what's known as safety priorities. And certainly my officers, I'm looking out for their well-being and I want to keep them safe. But we will do things and put ourselves in precarious positions to rescue someone else. And Desiree, last night, was at the top of that list. So we're going to do some things that are very risky in order to make sure that she's safe.
What was Collins, or did he have any injuries when you guys took him into custody yesterday?
Again, during the struggle, he had an injury to the head and then a couple taser probe strikes.
Sorry, was the head injury his struggle with Desiree or struggle with law enforcement?
That happened during the struggle with us. Specifically how it happened, it could have it was very dynamic in a very confined space. So not sure if he struck it on the bed, if he struck it on a shield that we had, but it was caused during the struggle with us.
I know you kind of talked about it, but can you just talk about, what was the reaction when you guys realized that she was safe?
When initially we have a job to do, so getting her to safety, you're still in that mindset, in that mode. But I tell you what, that's why we do this job. That's why we train and we spend the money on training and equipment and doing those types of things. It's for the Desirees of our community. So obviously we're very, very happy. It's sad at the same time because this event happened. It shouldn't have happened, but it did. And we feel heartbroken for her and her family, but we're very elated that she's in a safe place now and she's going to get the care she needs.
Can you talk about if there was any contact with Collins prior to this event? Maybe a little bit about his criminal history.
I don't have that right now.
this is a small question, but rental home, does that mean this is a home that Collins was renting out to other people, or he was renting it himself?
Well, we're still trying to ascertain exactly who may have been in it prior, but information that we were given was it may have been like an Airbnb or a VRBO type rental.
Okay. No one else was in the home other than the two of them?
That was it. Yeah.